Diddy is a very weird dude. In today's video, we will be showing 50 disturbing Diddy videos that everyone missed all along. But first, you need to hear this revelation.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop.
But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to...
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
When Usher was still an emerging artist, trying to establish himself within the highly competitive music industry, he spent a transformative year living with Puff. At first glance, many saw this as an extraordinary opportunity for a young artist to learn from one of the most influential moguls in music. But upon closer inspection, what Usher experienced during that year might have been far from the mentor-mentee relationship it seemed. Usher opened up about his time living with Puff in a 2016 interview with Howard Stern. The iconic radio host, known for getting guests to speak candidly, probed Usher about that pivotal time in his life. Usher described the experience as eye-opening, but also cryptically alluded to very curious things taking place in Puff's household. Although he laughed off some of the incidents, Usher seemed hesitant to go into full detail, suggesting that the events were more disturbing than he was willing to publicly admit. Usher mentioned that he didn't understand what he was even looking at, leading many to speculate about what exactly occurred. For someone as talented and successful as Usher, making such a statement is telling and raises concerns about what truly transpired during those early years. One of the most eye-opening revelations came when Usher made it abundantly clear that he wouldn't want his own children to attend Puffy camp. It was a striking comment because it implied that there was something inherently wrong or questionable about the environment Puff cultivated for young, up-and-coming artists. Puff's parties, which Usher would have been exposed to as a teenager, were notorious for their extravagance and unpredictability. Stories of wild, all-night gatherings with alcohol, drugs, and questionable behavior were common among industry insiders. The relationship between Usher and Puff continued to evolve over the years, with Usher eventually becoming one of the most successful R&B singers of his generation. However, Usher's reticence to go into detail about his year with Puff and his strong warning against allowing his descendants to be exposed to that environment provide a chilling hint at what might have gone on behind the scenes. Even though he remains cordial with Puff in public, Usher's cryptic comments leave room for speculation and suspicion. Justin Bieber.
I think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move on. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark.
Years after Usher's unsettling experience, his protege, Justin Bieber, found himself in the orbit of Puff. At the height of his teenage fame, Bieber, who was just breaking into superstardom, would find himself spending a whirlwind 48 hours with Puff. This brief but impactful time raised a lot of questions about the nature of Puff's mentorship of young artists. Although neither party has gone into great detail about what happened during those 48 hours, there have been some clues that suggest Bieber might have felt uncomfortable or overwhelmed by the encounter. One of the most notable anecdotes came when Bieber provided Puff with a fake phone number. On the surface, it seemed like a joke, just a young star pulling a prank on an industry giant. However, in hindsight, some speculate that this act might have been a subtle cry for help or an indication that Bieber wanted to maintain his distance from Puff. The fake phone number became a subject of speculation, and for those who have followed Bieber's tumultuous career, it adds another layer of intrigue to his complicated journey through fame and mentorship. Wendy Williams.
You know? No, but I want to tell you the story about that. I met all of them in the same year, so I've known all of them the same amount of time, but we were friends. No, listen. Whoa, why did I do that?
Did you meet all in the same
No, I was
social
just
setting?
trying to say it wasn't like I just was running around, through my career and just, every couple of years just being with a new person, like.
When radio icon Wendy Williams was fired from Hot 97 in 1998. She didn't mince words when it came to who she believed was behind her sudden departure: Puff. In the late 90s, Williams was one of the most influential voices in radio, known for her tell-it-like-it-is approach to celebrity gossip and news. However, her direct and often controversial commentary did not sit well with many powerful figures in the entertainment industry, and she often found herself in the crosshairs of their ire. After her firing, Williams accused Puff of playing a role in the decision to remove her from the airwaves. It's important to note that during this time, Puff was at the height of his power as a music mogul, with his Bad Boy Records label dominating the charts and shaping the culture of hip-hop and R&B. In her 2004 autobiography, Williams wrote that she would never forget the hell that Puff put her through, alluding to his influence and ability to silence those who spoke out against him. Williams's ongoing commentary about Puff continued for years, with notable instances on her daytime talk show. In 2015, while discussing the rumors that Cassie Ventura, Puff's then-girlfriend, was hiding from him, Williams painted a picture of Puff as a controlling figure, suggesting that his power extended beyond the music industry and into his personal relationships. Her portrayal of Puff as a man who is hard to escape from added a new dimension to the public perception of him. During an interview with Jennifer Lopez that same year, Williams asked if she'd ever consider rekindling her romance with Puff. Lopez's mother, Guadalupe Rodriguez, gave a reaction that was impossible to ignore, a disapproving look that spoke louder than any words could. Aubrey O'Day.
I have over 600 license plates screen capped in my phone right now from the past 3 months of just random cars that were parked outside my home that didn't look right. Or I'll make a quick U-turn if I need to get some groceries and like a big car busts a U-turn in a really weird spot.
Aubrey O'Day's experiences with Puff date back to her time on the MTV reality series Making the Band, where she became a member of the girl group Danity Kane. In her early 20s, when she first began working with Puff, O'Day faced intense scrutiny and control over her public image and physical appearance. According to her, Puff was highly critical of her looks, and she was forced to adhere to his specific standards of grooming and beauty. On the Crisis Queen podcast, O'Day described how Puff would make disparaging comments about her appearance on camera while giving her specific instructions behind the scenes on how she needed to change herself. She said that Puff controlled her down to how her toenails were polished, which speaks to the level of micromanagement and psychological control he allegedly exerted over the artists he worked with. O'Day claimed that one day, Puff complimented her by calling her the looker of the band, only to later send her home from the studio for not having her toes properly polished. This kind of behavior, which she described as part of a larger cycle of harm, created an environment where artists were constantly second-guessing themselves and trying to meet impossible standards. She mentioned that with Puff, she saw multiple sides of him, but there was always an element of something else influencing his behavior, suggesting that substance use might have played a role in his erratic and unpredictable conduct. During her time on Making the Band, O'Day was also restricted in who she could befriend or interact with. She mentioned that Puff forbade her from being friends with a high-profile individual whom he was also connected to, marking the first time she witnessed a shift in how he approached her both personally and professionally. In 2008, she was booted from Danity Kane, and although the reason given was her not meeting expectations, O'Day maintains that it was not talent-related, but rather due to other unspecified reasons. O'Day later reflected on her time working with Puff, describing the experience as akin to being groomed. She emphasized that grooming is a process that doesn't happen overnight, but involves breaking down a person's self-esteem and rebuilding them to serve the interests of the groomer. O'Day claimed that Puff allegedly tried to silence her in 2023 by offering to return her publishing rights in exchange for her silence, but she declined the offer, feeling that speaking out was more important than any financial settlement. Cassie Ventura.
So let me ask you, in the movie you have, I guess, you know, some Very intimate scenes? Yeah. So I'm wondering about the boyfriend, Diddy.
So yeah, okay, so Terrence was a bit nervous, and I told Puff about it, and he said, have him give me a call. So we FaceTimed, and they had their man talk, and he said, make it believable. You guys, this is like gonna be a great movie for you, and he's proud of us at the end of the day.
Cassie Ventura's decade-long relationship with Puff was often framed as a glamorous and enviable romance. However, beneath the surface, there were signs of trouble and emotional turbulence. Cassie and Puff began dating in 2007, and for years they were one of the most high-profile couples in the music industry. However, social media hints and public confrontations revealed that their relationship was far from perfect. In 2015, Cassie posted a now infamous photo on Instagram with the caption, "How I sleep knowing that I'm single and nobody's cheating on me," which led to widespread speculation about the state of their relationship. By the following year, eyewitnesses reported seeing the couple involved in an argument in Beverly Hills, with Puff allegedly taking Cassie's phone and storming off. The tension between the two became more apparent over time, eventually leading to their breakup in 2018. In 2023, Cassie took legal action against Puff, filing a lawsuit that accused him of physical abuse, emotional harm, harassment, discrimination, creating a hostile work environment, and other serious allegations. The lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, which Puff's legal team framed as a denial of guilt and an attempt to avoid further controversy. However, Cassie's decision to pursue legal action and the severity of the allegations raised serious questions about the dynamics of their relationship. Puff's legal team, led by attorney Ben Brafman, characterized the lawsuit as a blatant blackmail attempt and denied the claims. Despite this, the public support for Cassie was overwhelming, with many praising her for speaking out and pursuing justice. In addition to the lawsuit, footage from 2016 surfaced, showing an aggressive interaction between Puff and Cassie that further fueled the narrative of an abusive relationship. Puff later apologized publicly, but continued to deny any wrongdoing, maintaining that the lawsuit was a strategy to tarnish his reputation for financial gain. Jenny Mullen.
I just wanted to tell you guys that one time when I was like 19, I was in San Diego. So this guy's like, my boss wants to meet you. And he's like this big bouncer looking guy. He was like there in like a very like fur coat kind of vibes looking outfit, very small. And he puts out his hand and he shakes my hand. He had the littlest hands I've ever felt. Like not like Laszlo little, not like a 7-year-old, but maybe like a 12-year-old hand. And he's like, we're having a party up in my room. Do you guys want to come? Guys, would I have been on a freak off?
Jenny Mullen, actress and author, revealed a surprising and unsettling story about Puff. According to Mullen, she was once approached and invited to one of Puff's infamous freak-offs, wild after-hours parties known for their unpredictable and scandalous activities. When she was underage, Mullen recalled the encounter in vivid detail, describing how a man approached her while she was in San Diego, casually dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, and said, "My boss wants to meet you." After meeting Puff, Mullen joked about how small his hand was, a seemingly innocuous detail that added a layer of humor to the strange interaction. However, the invitation to join a party in his hotel room was anything but funny to Mullen, who declined and walked away from what could have been a life-changing and potentially dangerous situation. Looking back on the incident, Mullen joked about what could have happened had she accepted the invitation, questioning whether she might have found herself trapped in a compromising situation or captured on camera during one of Puff's freak-offs. Her story, while humorous in hindsight, underscores a troubling aspect of Puff's behavior and his interactions with young women, particularly those who were vulnerable and new to the entertainment industry. Katt Williams.
They be having these big-ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. Nigga, come here, come here. Is that two niggas kissing?
Comedian Katt Williams, known for his no-holds-barred comedy and candid observations, was one of the first to predict Puff's downfall. In a January 2024 episode of the Club Shay podcast, Williams made a bold claim, stating, "All these deviants catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. Doesn't matter who you is, Pastor T.D. Jakes, any of them." Williams went on to suggest that Puff's controversial behavior and parties would eventually catch up to him, and it appears that prediction was on the mark. Williams claimed to have been invited to several of Puff's infamous parties over the years, but always declined, citing his integrity and personal boundaries. "I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity," Williams said, emphasizing the importance of standing by his principles. Williams asserted that he had receipts for all his claims, making it clear that he was speaking from personal experience and not just hearsay. His reluctance to engage with Puff's lifestyle choices and the parties that Puff hosted added credibility to his warnings and provided a glimpse into the type of environment Puff allegedly created. Rodney Jones.
Go ahead, because I run shit here, nigga.
So I said,
I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving this kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his pub.
Rodney Little Rod Jones, a producer who worked on Puff's Love album Off the Grid, took legal action against the mogul in a lawsuit that shed light on the toxic and uncomfortable work environment he allegedly endured. Jones claimed that Puff repeatedly groped him and forced him to participate in unwanted activities that extended far beyond the responsibilities of a producer. According to Jones, he was made to work in the bathroom while Puff showered, a bizarre and inappropriate demand that exemplified the level of control Puff exerted over those around him. In an even more shocking claim, Jones alleged that he once woke up nude in bed next to Puff and 2 professionals after being drugged. Jones's lawsuit also implicated other individuals in Puff's inner circle, including his son, Justin Dior, and Chief of Staff Christina Coram. Coram, in particular, was accused of grooming former bad boy artist Mace, whose long-running feud with Puff over money and the rights to his music has spanned decades. Jones's lawsuit painted a picture of an environment where personal boundaries were disregarded and individuals were subjected to degrading and dehumanizing treatment in the name of business and power.
That's all you seen?
Seen a lot.
Well, I've seen. That's what I always
I've seen helicopters, all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Mace, a former bad boy artist, has had a long-standing and contentious relationship with Puff, dating back to their work together in the 1990s. Their feud has spanned decades and has centered on issues of money, publishing rights, and power dynamics within the music industry. In a recent podcast episode, Mace referenced the raids on Puff's home earlier in 2024, alluding to long-awaited reparations for the alleged mistreatment and financial disputes he experienced while signed to Bad Boy Records. Their feud came to a head in 2020 when Mace publicly accused Puff of withholding his publishing rights and making it difficult for him to regain ownership of his music. Although Puff denied these claims, the conflict only escalated over time, and Mace continued to demand what he believed was rightfully his. The tension between the two reached a breaking point in 2023 when Mace finally received the rights to his music, marking a significant victory in a battle that had lasted for over 20 years. 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent. Jackson has been one of Puff's most vocal critics, openly speaking out against him in interviews, social media posts, and even diss tracks. Their feud dates back to the mid-2000s, when 50 Cent released a diss track that alleged Puff was connected to the murder of Biggie Smalls. In recent years, 50 Cent has only intensified his criticism, describing Puff's behavior as uncomfortable and openly questioning his interactions with other men.
That's why I don't be going to the Puffy parties. Nigga hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I mean, look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this shit my motherfucking kind of party.
During his final LA tour in 2023, 50 Cent joked about Puff's tendency to hug you from the front and the back at the same time, implying overly intimate behavior that made those around him uncomfortable. It was also reported that 50 Cent sold a docu-series to Netflix titled Did He Do It, that aims to explore Puff's alleged misconduct, suggesting that the feud between the two is far from over. Additionally, 50 Cent has accused Puff of having a role in the death of Tupac Shakur, a claim that echoes similar suspicions raised by other figures in the music industry.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Donald Trump, perhaps one of the most unexpected figures to voice concerns about Puff, is former President Donald Trump. Known for his candid and often controversial statements, Trump commented on Puff's business practices and lifestyle on multiple occasions. In a 2016 interview, Trump alluded to Puff's extravagant and excessive lifestyle, suggesting that such behavior often leads to trouble. Although Trump's remarks were not explicitly accusatory, they hinted at a deeper unease regarding the way Puff conducted his personal and professional life. As someone who has navigated fame, scandal, and controversy, Trump's remarks about Puff carried a certain weight, leading many to see his words as a veiled warning. Tupac.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
The late Tupac Shakur was not only a legendary rapper and poet, but also a highly controversial figure whose life was entangled with many of the conflicts that defined the 1990s hip-hop scene. He was outspoken, fiery, and fiercely loyal to those he loved. At the same time, he was a man acutely aware of the forces that were working against him and the dangers lurking around every corner. One of the most significant episodes that defined his last years involved his suspicion of Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, and the East Coast-West Coast feud that escalated into one of the most infamous conflicts in music history. Tupac's suspicions about Puff were rooted in the infamous 1994 incident at New York's Quad Recording Studios. During a visit to the studio, Tupac was ambushed and shot multiple times in a robbery that left him critically wounded. Though the official narrative suggested it was a simple robbery gone wrong, Tupac didn't see it that way. In the aftermath of the attack, he began to suspect that the situation was orchestrated, not random. The fact that Puff and other members of his Bad Boy Records entourage were at the studio that night raised Tupac's suspicions about their potential involvement or foreknowledge of the attack. A year later, in 1995, Tupac sat down for an interview with Vibe magazine while incarcerated at the Clinton Correctional Facility on a separate charge. When asked whether he thought Puff had any connection to the Quad Studios shooting, Tupac's response was tellingly direct and unapologetically confrontational. "I believe so," he said, adding that it was a matter between him and Puff, and that only Puff knew the real story. This accusation fanned the flames of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry that dominated the rap world, pitting Tupac's Death Row Records against Puff's Bad Boy Records, with both labels representing their respective coasts. While Tupac never provided concrete evidence to back his claims, the bitterness and distrust between him and Puff became a public feud that transcended the music scene, drawing in fans and artists from both sides. In the months that followed, the tension between the two camps continued to rise. Tupac's 1996 album, All Eyes on Me, was filled with confrontational tracks targeting those he saw as enemies, including a scathing diss aimed directly at Puff and Notorious B.I.G. titled Hit 'Em Up. The song accused Puff of betrayal, deceit, and having a hand in the violence that had erupted around Tupac. With Tupac's growing paranoia, mounting tensions, and the media frenzy that fueled the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, the stage was set for a violent climax. On September 7, 1996, Tupac was shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas after attending a Mike Tyson boxing match. He died 6 days later from his injuries. The shocking and sudden loss of Tupac sent ripples across the music world, intensifying the already contentious feud between the coasts. Many speculated about the possible motives behind his murder. Was it gang-related, a continuation of the East Coast-West Coast War, or perhaps something orchestrated by those within the industry itself? To this day, the mystery surrounding Tupac's death remains one of the most talked about unsolved cases in music history. Fast forward to 2023, the arrest of Duane Keefe D. Davis added a new twist to the ongoing speculation. Davis, a known affiliate of the Southside Compton Crips and a self-proclaimed participant in the events leading to Tupac's murder, was charged with the rapper's killing, bringing renewed attention to the decades-old case. But it was Davis's subsequent claims that shook the hip-hop community to its core. Davis alleged that Puff offered him $1 million to orchestrate the murder of Tupac Shakur. According to Davis, the motivation was rooted in the escalating feud and growing animosity between the Bad Boy and Death Row camps, which had culminated in violent exchanges, public diss tracks, and personal threats. Davis's accusations, though sensational, lack definitive evidence and have been met with skepticism from some corners, as well as outright denials from Puff's camp. Puff has vehemently denied any involvement in either the 1994 Quad Studios shooting or Tupac's 1996 murder. Despite this, Davis's claims have reopened old wounds and reignited debates about who was truly behind Tupac's murder. The idea that a financial bounty was placed on Tupac's head adds another layer of conspiracy and intrigue to a case that has haunted fans, investigators, and fellow artists for nearly 3 decades. In the court of public opinion, theories continue to swirl. Some believe that Davis's allegations are an attempt to gain leniency or to stir controversy for personal gain. Others see his statements as a long-awaited piece of the puzzle that might finally bring some closure to the case. What complicates matters further is that the murder of Tupac is inextricably linked to the murder of the notorious B.I.G., who was killed in Los Angeles 6 months after Tupac's death. Theories abound that the two murders are connected, with speculation that Biggie's death was a retaliatory act, a part of the larger feud that claimed both rappers' lives. While there is no definitive proof connecting Puff to Tupac's death, the accusations levied by Davis have intensified the scrutiny on Puff's legacy and his role in one of hip-hop's darkest chapters. These claims, true or not, have forced many to re-examine the events of the 1990s through a modern lens and consider whether justice was ever truly served. The ongoing controversy also underscores the chaotic, violent nature of the music industry at that time, when personal grudges, gang affiliations, and the pursuit of power and influence could have fatal consequences. To this day, fans of Tupac continue to seek answers, holding vigils, sharing theories online, and pushing for new leads in the case. Every new detail, every allegation, and every clue adds another piece to the puzzle of what happened on that fateful night in Las Vegas. Whether the truth will ever fully come to light remains uncertain, but Tupac's suspicion of Puff and the unresolved mysteries surrounding both of their lives serve as a sobering reminder of how art, fame, and conflict can lead to real-world tragedies that have lasting impacts. Throughout his career, Puff has faced accusations and warnings from a wide range of individuals, from former employees and artists to media personalities and even political figures. The stories of control, manipulation, and alleged abuse have accumulated over the years, painting a troubling portrait of a man who, for decades, wielded immense power and influence. While Puff has denied many of the allegations and disputes the accusations against him, the sheer volume and consistency of the stories raise serious questions about the culture he fostered and the impact he had on those who crossed his path. As more and more voices come forward to share their experiences and speak their truth, one thing remains clear: the story of Puff is far from over, and the full scope of his legacy has yet to be fully uncovered. And that's all for today, folks. Stay tuned as we continue to peel back the layers and expose the untold stories behind the glitz, glamour, and controversy of celebrity life. Remember,
there's just a lot of people coming at me right now, so
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Dame Dash then recalled his reaction to Jay-Z's apology to Nas and said he puts the blame on Irv Gotti.
And then when he went and apologized and shit, I was like, oh, no. I was hitting him from the thing like, get off the radio, we looking crazy.
The 90s are often hailed as the golden era of hip-hop and R&B, a time that has shaped and inspired generations of music lovers and creators. 3 iconic figures dominated this era: R. Kelly, Diddy, and Jay-Z. Their impact on music and culture is nearly unparalleled, and they remain influential legends in their own right. However, recent events have cast a shadow over their legacies. R. Kelly's imprisonment, Diddy's indictment, and growing rumors about Jay-Z have pulled back the curtain on the darker side of fame and power in the music industry. As allegations of abuse, control, and betrayal resurface, long-standing alliances seem to be unraveling. Amidst this turmoil, Diddy's legal troubles appear to have triggered a ripple effect, with R. Kelly, feeling betrayed by both Diddy and Jay-Z, deciding to break his silence from behind bars. Kelly is now revealing shocking details that could potentially bring down his former peers and unravel hidden truths about the industry. This video will dive deep into these explosive revelations and explore how they could impact Diddy, Jay-Z, and the music world at large. But before we delve into the details, let's take a moment to understand what has driven R. Kelly to finally speak out and the implications of his decision to expose the secrets of those who once stood alongside him. The unraveling of titans. In 2021, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison after being found guilty of serious charges, including sexual exploitation and racketeering. Now, only a few years later, P. Diddy faces potential jail time for similar allegations. And it seems that Jay-Z might not be far behind, as emerging details threaten to pull him into a similar legal quagmire. R. Kelly, currently serving time, has started to break his silence, sharing shocking accusations that have thrown Diddy and Jay-Z into the spotlight. The two music moguls, once known for their close friendship and mutual support, are now reportedly on diverging paths in an attempt to protect themselves from the fallout. Rumors swirl that their once unbreakable alliance is crumbling under the weight of these revelations. From behind bars, Kelly is making incendiary claims, pointing fingers at Diddy and revealing alleged secret tapes that could have dire consequences for both Diddy and Jay-Z. These startling allegations suggest that their powerful circle is cracking, and Kelly isn't holding back. He alleges that Jay-Z played a direct role in his legal troubles, even accusing Jay-Z of funding the production of a documentary that may have influenced the outcome of his trial. But it doesn't end there. Kelly also accuses Jay-Z of orchestrating misconduct within the jury to seal his fate. Kelly's former cellmate, Ronnie Bo, opened up to Hip Hop News Uncensored about Kelly's belief that Jay-Z put a hit out on him. Although Bo admits there's no hard evidence to back this claim, he insists Kelly was convinced that Jay-Z, once his musical collaborator, wanted him silenced. The bad blood between the two dates back to the early 2000s when they worked together on 2 albums, The Best of Both Worlds and Unfinished Business, and embarked on a co-headlining tour. The partnership soon turned volatile, culminating in a chaotic night at Madison Square Garden. During a show, Kelly left the stage, claiming men were pointing guns at him, and as he attempted to return, he was pepper sprayed by Jay-Z's close associate, Tyron Ty Smith. The incident resulted in Kelly being kicked off the tour and later suing Jay-Z for $75 million over a breach of contract, marking the end of their tumultuous relationship. According to Bo, Kelly allegedly received death threats leading up to the Madison Square Garden incident in 2004 and believed they originated from Jay-Z. While the accusations sounded like the stuff of conspiracy theories, Kelly felt genuinely threatened and became convinced that Jay-Z was orchestrating his downfall. Now, Kelly finds himself in prison, convicted of exploiting his celebrity status to prey on young fans, leaving behind a shattered reputation and an unraveling network of alliances. A dark past unearthed. Among the many disturbing aspects of R. Kelly's life is his infamous marriage to Aaliyah, the late R&B sensation. During Kelly's trial, the details of their relationship came under intense scrutiny, revealing how Kelly orchestrated a sham marriage to the then 15-year-old singer in 1994. The rushed ceremony, in which they wore matching tracksuits, was an attempt to hide fears that Aaliyah might be pregnant. To make matters even more unsettling, a fake ID was used to falsely claim that Aaliyah was 18 years old, allowing the marriage to proceed. At the time, Kelly was 27, and the scandal left a deep stain on both their careers, casting a dark shadow over the industry's obsession with power and control. While Jay-Z is enjoying a seemingly stable life alongside Beyoncé and their daughter, Blue Ivy, R. Kelly's troubles are far from over. His legal battles have not only tarnished his public image, but have also drained his finances. Court records reveal that prosecutors in Brooklyn have taken steps to garnish Kelly's earnings from his record labels in order to pay off over $500,000 owed to his victims. As of June 1, 2023, Kelly's outstanding balance had ballooned to $542,000 and continues to grow as his legal troubles mount. As these formerly celebrated icons grapple with growing scandals and potential legal ramifications, the world is left to wonder how the legacies of R. Kelly, Diddy, and Jay-Z will ultimately be shaped. The revelations against these music giants are shining a harsh light on the murky underbelly of the industry that once celebrated them as legends. The question remains, what more could be unearthed from the shadows of the golden era of hip-hop and R&B? A long trail of accusations against R. Kelly. R. Kelly's pattern of abuse and manipulation spans decades, with allegations that have long haunted his career. One of the first public cases came from Tiffany Hawkins, who took Kelly to court for personal injuries and emotional distress stemming from their 3-year relationship. According to court records, Hawkins stated that her relationship with Kelly began in 1991, when she was still a minor and he was 24 years old. Although she initially sought $10 million in damages, the case settled for just $250,000, as revealed by a 1998 report from the Chicago Sun-Times. Following Hawkins, a series of lawsuits ensued. Tracy Sampson, who worked as an intern at Epic Records, accused Kelly of coercing her into an inappropriate relationship when she was just 17 years old. In her lawsuit, she described being poorly treated and discarded once Kelly lost interest. Another accuser, Patrice Jones, claimed that Kelly impregnated her as a teenager, while Montina Woods alleged that Kelly filmed their intimate encounters without her consent. These cases, along with many others, painted a troubling picture of a man who preyed on young women, often using his power and celebrity status to manipulate and exploit them. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, R. Kelly stood out not only for his controversial personal life, but also for his influence on the R&B and hip-hop music scenes, as noted by Khalifa Saneh, a music critic for the New York Times. During the 90s, Kelly was one of the first R&B artists who truly crossed over into the world of hip-hop. He strove to match the energy, toughness, and allure of the rap scene, which influenced both his music and his public persona. Themes of obsession, desire, and internal conflict were prevalent in his work, as exemplified by lyrics like, "My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes," a reflection of the duality and inner turmoil that characterized his public image, the dark side of a music icon. However, this persona often bled into darker territory. Kelly's troubling behavior and abusive tendencies were not limited to his music. Allegations from various women, including his ex-wife, Drea Kelly, suggest a disturbing pattern of abuse toward those closest to him. In addition to the civil lawsuits, Kelly faced criminal charges over the years, including 21 counts related to creating explicit videos with partners who were allegedly underage. He was also hit with 12 charges for the production of such content. Despite the severity of these accusations, the charges were eventually dropped due to insufficient evidence and the inability to verify the ages of the individuals involved in the footage. As whispers of Kelly's so-called sex cult grew louder, more women began to come forward, some even breaking non-disclosure agreements to share their stories. This public outcry culminated in the release of the documentary Surviving R. Kelly on Lifetime, which offered a comprehensive and harrowing account of the allegations against him. The 6-part series shed light on the depths of Kelly's misconduct, with survivors recounting stories of psychological control, physical abuse, and manipulation. The impact of the documentary was swift and severe. Within just 2 weeks of its release, Kelly was dropped by his record label and shunned by much of the music community. The Fall from Grace. By June 20th, 2022, Kelly's downfall became official when he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. The sentence marked a dramatic turning point in his long and troubled history, serving as a grim culmination of decades of rumors, lawsuits, and criminal charges. The world watched as the man once celebrated as the King of R&B was brought to justice for exploiting his fame to prey on vulnerable young women. Though his influence on music and culture is undeniable, R. Kelly's legacy will forever be marred by the atrocities he committed, casting a dark shadow over the era he helped define. As the industry continues to grapple with the fallout of these revelations, the legacies of Diddy, Jay-Z, and others tied to the golden era remain uncertain. What other secrets could emerge, and how might they change the narratives of those who shaped the music world in the 90s and beyond? The saga is far from over, and as the legal battles and allegations continue to unfold, the music industry faces a reckoning that could expose even deeper issues within its hallowed halls. U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly didn't mince words as she condemned R. Kelly's actions, characterizing him as someone who showed a complete disregard for humanity. She accused Kelly of weaponizing his sexuality, using it to groom his victims into unspeakable acts, leaving many of them with sexually transmitted infections and deep emotional scars. Judge Donnelly also criticized Kelly for teaching his victims that love meant confinement and control, creating a toxic dynamic that left lasting trauma. Ahead of his sentencing, several women who were directly affected by Kelly's behavior courageously came forward to share their stories, revealing how deeply he had damaged their lives and the lives of many others. Among these tragic tales is the story of Aaliyah Houghton, whose brief yet significant connection to Kelly left a lasting mark on both her life and legacy. Born in January 1979, Aaliyah entered the music world early, signing her first record deal at the age of 12 through her uncle's Detroit-based label. Billboard magazine later celebrated Aaliyah as a trailblazer who revolutionized R&B by blending elements of pop, soul, and hip-hop with her smooth, honey-toned vocals. Her career soared with hits like Try Again, which won the award for Best Female Video at the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards, triumphing over popular tracks from Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. This accomplishment was a turning point, solidifying her status as a star on the rise. Throughout her career, Aaliyah achieved numerous accolades, including 3 American Music Awards, 2 MTV VMAs, and 5 Grammy nominations. Her signature style, a mix of crop tops, baggy jeans, and long hair that partially covered one eye, became an iconic look that reflected her sweet yet edgy persona, an aesthetic that still inspires fashion today. However, behind her successful music career and public image, a darker story unfolded when Aaliyah crossed paths with R. Kelly. 2 years after signing with her uncle's label, Aaliyah collaborated with R. Kelly to produce her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Tragically, the album's title foreshadowed her secret relationship with Kelly, who was more than a decade older. The pair were secretly married when Aaliyah was just 15 years old, although her parents quickly intervened to annul the union once they learned about it. Despite the scandal, it was Aaliyah who bore the brunt of the media's backlash. Rather than being seen as a victim, she was often portrayed as a teenage temptress, while Kelly managed to avoid much of the scrutiny that should have accompanied his actions. In 2019, federal prosecutors charged R. Kelly with obtaining a fake ID for an unnamed girl just a day before his secret marriage to Aaliyah. The indictment accused Kelly of bribing officials to create a fraudulent identification document for Jane Doe on August 30th, 1994. This marked the first time his illegal marriage to Aaliyah was directly connected to his criminal charges, shedding light on how Kelly manipulated the situation to conceal his relationship with the underage singer. Kelly's legal team consistently argued that he was unaware of Aaliyah's real age at the time of their marriage, pointing to a falsified marriage license that claimed she was 18. Aaliyah's life, however, was tragically cut short just as she was reaching the height of her career. On August 25, 2001, at the age of 22, she died in a devastating plane crash in the Bahamas, shortly after filming the music video for her self-titled final album, Aaliyah. Investigations into the crash revealed several disturbing details. The twin-engine Cessna was overloaded by 700 pounds, and the pilot was found to have both cocaine and alcohol in his system. The crash abruptly ended Aaliyah's promising career, leaving a void in the music world and a tragic chapter in her connection to R. Kelly. In the years following her death, Kelly rarely spoke of Aaliyah, but more recently, he has claimed that Jay-Z wanted to remove him from the music scene for reasons that remain unclear. This accusation has given rise to numerous conspiracy theories, some of which speculate about an Illuminati-like setup involving powerful figures in the music industry. While these theories remain unproven, they add yet another layer to the complex and troubling legacy of R. Kelly and his ties to those around him. R. Kelly speaks out. As R. Kelly prepares for a high-stakes legal battle, he's making some bold moves. He's enlisted the support of Bill Cosby's former lawyer, an unexpected choice given Cosby's own legal troubles, with the aim of not just contesting his conviction, but seeking a full reversal. Kelly's legal team is arguing that his trial was compromised by the presence of 2 jurors who had watched a documentary about him, suggesting that this exposure to media coverage biased their judgment. This latest development raises questions about the integrity of his trial and adds yet another layer to an already complicated legal drama. Kelly also believes that Jay-Z had a hand in his downfall, alleging that a $70 million lawsuit that Kelly lost to Jay-Z sparked a vendetta that eventually led to his imprisonment. Currently, Kelly is pursuing an appeal, asserting that his trial was tainted by biased jurors and crucial information withheld about the ages of his partners. However, it seems there's more behind his legal maneuvers. Rumors have surfaced suggesting that Kelly is seeking retribution against high-profile celebrities who abandoned him during his lowest moments. Reports indicate that Kelly and his legal team are working closely with federal authorities, possibly in an attempt to reduce his sentence by revealing damaging information about other public figures who may be entangled in similar allegations. The whispers have named a prominent rapper and a renowned singer as potential targets of this legal saga. Central to Kelly's claims is his assertion that Jay-Z played a significant role in orchestrating his downfall. Kelly's camp alleges that the singer feels unfairly burdened by the legal consequences, believing that he is carrying the blame for actions, while Jay-Z remains untouched. The rumors swirling around Jay-Z are particularly explosive, especially those suggesting he had a relationship with Foxy Brown when she was just 14 years old. According to various reports, their alleged relationship began when she was 15, while Jay-Z was 24, a concerning age difference that sparked controversy. Although Jay-Z attempted to address these rumors in his song Picasso Baby, his response only fanned the flames of speculation. Foxy Brown later spoke out in an interview, expressing her surprise over Jay-Z's lyrics. She hinted at their deeper connection, saying, "Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music." While Foxy noted that they shared some humor over the rumors, she acknowledged that the public scrutiny and backlash over their rumored age gap were mounting pressure on Jay-Z, forcing him to confront the rumors. The Aaliyah connection, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and a love triangle. As the narrative continues to unfold, new questions emerge about the relationships between these high-profile figures and their connections to Aaliyah. Jay-Z has remained silent on the matter, but his former business partner, Dame Dash, has offered candid insights into the complex dynamics between them. In a revealing podcast interview, Dash spoke openly about his romantic interest in Aaliyah during the 90s. He explained that he actively pursued Aaliyah as a potential girlfriend, unaware that Jay-Z had also taken an interest in her. Dash's revelations suggest that both men were vying for Aaliyah's attention, a situation that understandably created tension between the two. Ultimately, she pulled back, and Jay-Z began seeing Aaliyah. However, their relationship was reportedly short-lived, and Dash claimed that things never fully materialized between them. Dash went on to pursue a relationship with Aaliyah, which reportedly infuriated Jay-Z and contributed to the strain on their partnership. Dash emphasized that Jay-Z's discontent over this development was a significant factor in their falling out. The tension between Jay-Z, Aaliyah, and Dame Dash is further complicated by highly controversial rumors suggesting Jay-Z might have played a role in Aaliyah's tragic death. According to these unverified claims, Aaliyah's passing paved the way for Beyoncé's rise to fame and superstardom, hinting at a calculated move to clear the path for his future wife. While these conspiracy theories are speculative and lack concrete evidence, they have added to the controversy surrounding Jay-Z and his ties to Aaliyah, Jay-Z, R. Kelly, and a controversial collaboration. Dame Dash has not held back in criticizing Jay-Z's choice to collaborate with R. Kelly on multiple projects. Dash pointed out that Jay-Z was well aware of Kelly's disturbing history, particularly his illegal relationship with an underage Aaliyah. Despite knowing about Kelly's past, Jay-Z chose to partner with him on the albums The Best of Both Worlds and Unfinished Business, raising questions about his moral judgment and the motives behind their professional relationship. As the R. Kelly scandal exploded into the public eye, many celebrities swiftly distanced themselves from the disgraced R&B singer. But Jay-Z and Beyoncé notably chose a different approach, electing not to publicly or privately denounce Kelly. This decision sparked rampant speculation, leading fans and critics alike to question whether their silence implied complicity or an effort to protect their own reputations amidst the growing scandal. As these tangled narratives continue to unravel, the connections between R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and Aaliyah grow ever more complex, raising questions about power dynamics, exploitation, and the long-lasting impact on their legacies. The outcome of Kelly's legal maneuvering and potential implications for Jay-Z and other high-profile celebrities are closely watched as the drama surrounding these music industry titans plays out. Supporters of Jay-Z have long maintained that he was unaware of R. Kelly's predatory behavior, arguing that their collaborations were strictly business. However, this defense was called into question in 2002 when Nas gave a revealing interview with Wendy Williams. In a candid moment, Nas openly criticized Jay-Z, alleging that he was fully aware of Kelly's misconduct and controversial relationships. This sparked intense debate within the music industry and among fans, with opinions split on Jay-Z's level of knowledge and responsibility. Some defended him, insisting that he couldn't have known the full extent of Kelly's actions, while others contended that Jay-Z should be held accountable for his association with Kelly. As the scandal unfolded, many also called out other celebrities, including Beyoncé, Diddy, and Will Smith, urging that they face consequences for their connections to the disgraced R&B star. Critics argue that Jay-Z's continued work with Kelly was driven by profit rather than principle. Despite Kelly facing mounting allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse, the pair released multiple projects, such as the 2004 album Unfinished Business and their joint tours, which proved commercially successful. Jay-Z's steadfast support of Kelly during a time when the singer faced accusations of being involved with an underage girl raised serious questions about his judgment and priorities. In 2002, while Kelly was at the center of a scandal, Jay-Z not only continued to collaborate with him, but also made grand comparisons about their partnership. He likened their collaboration on The Best of Both Worlds album to the historic unity of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, saying, "When two influential figures in the music industry unite, it sends a powerful message that transcends music itself." This bold analogy highlighted the significance Jay-Z placed on their partnership, even as Kelly faced serious legal troubles for possession of inappropriate videos involving minors. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's silence on the accusations against Kelly drew widespread criticism. Many fans and onlookers accused the power couple of ignoring Kelly's alleged actions, especially in 2002 when Kelly was charged with 21 counts of child pornography. Despite the disturbing nature of these charges, Jay-Z stood by Kelly, releasing Unfinished Business just months after Kelly's arrest. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart and was considered a commercial success. However, it was heavily criticized by those who believed Jay-Z's decision to support Kelly was morally questionable. The lead single, Honey, featuring Kelly, reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, but the controversy surrounding their collaboration overshadowed its success. Several celebrities publicly challenged Jay-Z's continued support for Kelly, most notably Mace and comedian Dave Chappelle. Mace, in particular, was outspoken, condemning Jay-Z for standing by Kelly in the face of serious allegations. During his 2002 interview with Wendy Williams, Nas didn't mince words, saying, "I don't think Jay-Z knew about the rape and stuff like that, but I think he knew about the other stuff." He further alleged, "I think he knew about the underage girls and the videotapes and all that." Nas's comments sparked a heated debate within the hip-hop community, with many siding with his criticism of Jay-Z, while others defended the rapper's ignorance of Kelly's actions. Despite the mounting backlash, Jay-Z continued to collaborate with Kelly. The 2004 release of Unfinished Business marked their most prominent project together, and while the album topped the charts, it also drew intense controversy. The lead single, Big Chips, achieved commercial success, but once again the collaboration was marred by criticism of Jay-Z's willingness to work with Kelly amidst the criminal charges. Accusations of prioritizing financial gain over moral responsibility were rampant, with fans and critics questioning why Jay-Z would align himself with an artist accused of such serious crimes. Throughout this period, Jay-Z remained defiant, asserting that he was unaware of Kelly's wrongdoings. However, this defense was consistently challenged by influential figures like Nas, who argued that Jay-Z's actions reflected complicity rather than ignorance. The ongoing debate within the hip-hop community highlighted a division of opinion. Some saw Jay-Z as a businessman making strategic decisions, while others believed he turned a blind eye to Kelly's misconduct for the sake of profit. Despite the mounting scrutiny and public criticism, Jay-Z did not waver in his support for Kelly, even as the legal case against Kelly intensified. The partnership between the two artists ultimately became a topic of intense moral scrutiny and remains a controversial chapter in both of their careers. Jay-Z's loyalty to R. Kelly remained firm, while others distanced themselves, a move that garnered public scrutiny and backlash. Now, with fresh allegations against Diddy surfacing, Jay-Z finds himself in a potentially precarious position. Critics suggest he is staying quiet, sensing that it's only a matter of time before the focus turns toward him. As Diddy's list of accusations grows, discussions are sparking comparisons to Jay-Z's career and connections. Vocal critic Jaguar Wright has openly accused Jay-Z of engaging in similar tactics to Diddy, suggesting that he may have sacrificed other artists to further his own success. As investigations into Diddy intensify, with federal authorities allegedly raiding his Los Angeles and Miami properties, the pressure mounts on all involved. The music industry is watching closely, wondering if Jay-Z's past choices and associations could return to haunt him as the walls close in around his former collaborators. The stakes are high, and there's growing speculation that Diddy's legal trouble could potentially drag Jay-Z into the fray. Rumors are swirling that if Diddy is going down, he may take Jay-Z with him, hinting at the Rock Nation mogul's involvement in questionable dealings. The high-profile investigation into Diddy has reportedly escalated, with Homeland Security conducting searches at his properties and opening the door to a slew of lawsuits. These lawsuits range from allegations of mistreatment to whispered accounts of shady business practices, creating a legal minefield for Diddy. Adding to this chaos is the voice of Lil Rod, who has brought to light further damaging allegations, not just against Diddy but his family as well. The public drama surrounding Diddy's former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, is just a glimpse into a much larger iceberg of issues. Federal authorities have reportedly seized mountains of evidence, potentially putting Diddy in an even more compromising position. Lil Rod's legal team has openly criticized the judge, airing out Diddy's alleged misconduct in a bid to bring his actions to light. Diddy's expectation of unwavering loyalty from Jay-Z, whom he often claimed was one of the few who could call him by his real name, Sean, has seemingly crumbled under pressure. Once the investigations began heating up, Jay-Z appeared to distance himself swiftly, leaving Diddy feeling betrayed. Now, Diddy is allegedly on a mission to bring Jay-Z down alongside him, setting the stage for a potentially industry-shaking confrontation. The stakes are incredibly high, and with the spotlight on Diddy, many wonder if the ensuing scrutiny will shine a light on Jay-Z's own past and decisions. The allegations against Diddy and Cassie Ventura. Diddy has been embroiled in numerous allegations over the years, including accusations that he silenced women who spoke out against his behavior. A significant case involves Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend, who filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of physical and sexual abuse. Cassie's suit detailed alleged coercion and manipulation, claiming that Diddy exerted control over her life, even forcing her into intimate encounters with other men. Following the filing, Cassie reportedly received a large financial settlement from Diddy, fueling speculation that the payment was meant to silence her and prevent further revelations about their relationship. Beyond Cassie's claims, there are rumors that Diddy used his influence in the music industry to intimidate other women into silence, particularly those who attended his infamous parties or were otherwise associated with him. This culture of silence is reportedly upheld by fear of retaliation or reputational harm from the powerful music mogul. The Kathy White scandal and rumors involving Jay-Z. Rumors have begun swirling that Diddy is sitting on explosive information about the Kathy White case, and he may be preparing to reveal it all, potentially implicating Jay-Z and other high-profile figures. This is not the first time such claims have emerged. Jaguar Wright has long suggested that Jay-Z was involved in shady dealings with Kathy White, who was rumored to be pregnant with Jay-Z's child when things took a dark turn. Allegedly, instead of facing the situation head-on, Jay-Z sought to conceal the affair, with whispers suggesting that Beyoncé was aware of the scandal and had hoped to be the first to bear Jay-Z's child. These allegations have only fueled speculation about a conspiracy related to the mysterious circumstances of Kathy White's death, raising questions about the extent of Jay-Z's involvement and the lengths to which he may have gone to protect his reputation. Further complicating matters, insiders allege that the music industry has, for years, provided opportunities for its elites to exploit young and vulnerable men and women under the guise of mentorship and career advancement. As Diddy finds himself ensnared in this tangled web of accusations, whether guilty or innocent, it appears he is prepared to bring everyone else down with him. Reports suggest Diddy has been cooperating with federal authorities, spilling secrets and implicating others, which has apparently raised red flags for Beyoncé. Word on the street is that she's taking steps to protect herself, with rumors of a potential divorce from Jay-Z as a means of avoiding fallout from the escalating scandal. Diddy's alleged campaign to expose industry secrets. Diddy isn't just targeting Jay-Z. He's reportedly gearing up to expose a whole host of Hollywood elites. With his back against the wall, it seems Diddy is on a mission to take down anyone who stands in his way, dragging out long-buried secrets to do so. Jay-Z, who has long been known for his ability to expertly cover his tracks and sidestep scandals, now faces an imminent threat as Diddy's revelations cast a growing shadow over his carefully crafted image. Whack 100's bombshell phone call with R. Kelly. Adding to the chaos, Clubhouse TV 2.0 recently shared an explosive phone interview with Whack 100, featuring none other than R. Kelly, currently serving time in federal prison. In a surprising twist, Kelly expressed doubt about the sex trafficking allegations against Diddy. During the call, Kelly talked about the Homeland Security raids on Diddy's properties, claiming that federal agents were angered by Diddy's reckless behavior. However, Kelly also issued a warning to Diddy and other high-profile figures, advising them to take the investigation seriously in an era where celebrities are increasingly under the microscope, regardless of whether the allegations are true or not. What do you think of this whole situation? Comment below.